The $695 annual fee just hit on my American Express Platinum card for the second time, which means I have completed 1 full year of owning this card. In this video, I want to review every credit and benefit on this card to let you know if it was worth it for me to have the Amex Platinum in my wallet in the first year, and we will be reviewing if I should keep it for year 2. I can find no better way to start this video than talking about one of the best perks of having this card, and that would be lounge access. On the American Express website, we can see the Global Lounge Collection, access to more than 1,400 airport lounges around the world. And if you click in here, you can see that it's not just the Centurion lounges, it's not just the Escape lounges by American Express, but it's so much more than that. We have the Delta Sky Clubs, we have the Lufthansa lounges, we have the Plaza Premium lounges, and of course, Priority Pass Select. Now in this video, I'm not going to just read off all of these benefits to you. I want to show you my spreadsheet that I've made of every single time that I visited an airport lounge in this first year. And of course, we're going to do that with every single credit and benefit here. I have the credit here in the first column, Centurion Lounge, Escape Lounge, and so on. Then we have the value in the second column. This is going to make a lot more sense as we get into the statement credits portion of this video. And then we have covered by my other cards. Then we move on to if I actually use this credit or benefit. And with the value for the item, we'll talk about that once we get into it. So the Centurion Lounge, a perfect place to start off. It doesn't come with any sort of inherent value with the card. We can't really put a dollar amount on that until I do. So for the Centurion Lounge, I visited a couple this year, with Seattle visiting 3 times, LAX visiting another 3 times, and with Stockholm, I visited twice. I actually put my wife as the second visit on this one that we visited in Stockholm, just because she is an authorized user on the card now, but she wasn't at the time. And when she got in, she was a free guest. And then we had a stop in Denver, and I put Phoenix in there just because that is my home airport, but I haven't actually been to the Centurion Lounge there. Every single time I've gone to the Phoenix airport to go on a trip, I have been in the other terminal where the Centurion Lounge isn't. I put this down as a very conservative estimate of $15 worth of value. There's been unlimited food and drink every time that I've visited a lounge this year, along with free Wi-Fi, a nice comfortable place to sit away from the chaos of the airport. And so $15, that's a very conservative estimate. So how much value did I get out of the Centurion Lounge this year? Well, I got $135. Pretty good there. And then we move on to the Escape Lounges, which Phoenix, I visited 3 times. And these Escape Lounges, they're not as nice as the Centurion Lounges that I visited. So another conservative estimate here of $10, even though I got unlimited food and beverage and all the other stuff too. That comes out to a value of $30 right there. Now for the Delta Sky Clubs, I was able to get into one in Minneapolis on my way home from internationally traveling, and my wife was a free guest at the time, and I value this around $15 for this visit because the Delta Sky Club was really, really nice. So that is $30 total. Next up, Lufthansa lounges. I was able to visit in Frankfurt, Germany for 11 hours because that's how long my layover was. And I just had one visit here, and I valued it around $15. I actually went to 2 different Lufthansa lounges, but I'll just count it as one visit, so that is $15. Next up is Priority Pass, and this is where the majority of my visits came in, and I value them at around $10 per visit, just because some of them are really, really good, and some of them are actually kind of terrible. So here we go. We got 2 from Copenhagen, Denmark. We went 2 in Helsinki, Finland, 6 Narita, Japan. This is in Tokyo. 2 in Bangkok, Thailand. 2 in Singapore. 2 in Hanoi, Vietnam. 2 in Seoul, South Korea. And then my wife got her own Priority Pass, so we switched over, and just 1 visit here in Bologna, Italy, and 1 visit here in Porto, Portugal. 20 Priority Pass visits, valued at $10 each, $200. That is some huge value there that I would only be getting with the Amex Platinum and a few few other travel cards. If you add up the year one lounge total, you get $410 worth of value that I got out of holding the Amex Platinum card. But of course, since this is the 1 year review, it has to make sense for me to keep this card beyond this first year. So we will go over all of that and try to calculate my estimated value in year 2 right after we're done talking about all of year 1. Now on to the statement credits. The first one on the American Express website is the Fine Hotels and Resorts $200 statement credit. I just don't stay in luxurious properties, and so I really don't know how to get value out of this credit, because I know that you have to stay in a really nice place and then you get $200 back, but that is still way more expensive than what I want to pay in my travels. So let me know in the comments if you have any budget travel tips for somebody that wants to take advantage of this credit. So let's move on to the next one. Here we have the $240 digital entertainment credit, and this one is actually really nice. If I was just a single guy, I don't think I would get any value out of this credit, but because I have a wife and she enjoys Disney Plus and Hulu, I can pay for this fully with the Amex Platinum and not have to pay a single cent for that. The Disney and the Hulu bundle is $9.99 per month plus tax, and also we get Peacock for free. It's like a $6 a month thing, but I'm not going to factor that into my value because we wouldn't subscribe to it if we didn't have the credit, but we would do the Disney plus Hulu bundle, and that's going to be $129.60. That's the $9.99 times 12, and then you got to throw the tax in there. So that is how much value I'm getting out of this digital entertainment credit. Next up is the Walmart Plus membership, and for me, yeah, I'm definitely going to use this. I shop at Walmart. I actually get my groceries now at Walmart because of this perk. It's actually insane how much we love this. And we also get 10 cents off per gallon when we fill up at Walmart gas stations, which is the cheapest gas station in my area already. And then I get 10 cents off for that. So I calculated how much money I saved from using Walmart gas stations in the last 12 months. And it was $42 just right there. And with the Walmart Plus subscription, and also including that we get free Paramount Plus with the Walmart Plus subscription. I mean, this is really, really nice. So when calculating how much this credit is worth to me, I just took the advertised value and I divided it in half. I probably get more value out of this than $83, but that's what I put in the spreadsheet. Next up is the $200 Uber Cash that you get for holding the card. You get $15 every single month and an additional $20 in December. And while I used all $200 of this Uber Cash, usually I spend it going to the airport or coming home from the airport, or I just use it for Uber Eats when I'm not taking an Uber. And yeah, maybe we pay a slight upcharge for ordering food, but if you only order it like 3 or 4 times a year, it just becomes a fun little treat and not something that is going to burden us financially. Now moving on to the airline incidental credit, that is also $200. For me this year, I chose United for that $200 because I fly them more than any other US airline, and if I am booking with points, that also counts towards the airline incidental credit. If I pay $5.60 in taxes and fees and the rest with points, Amex will credit that back to me because they think it's an airline incidental. And there's just other little ways that added up to the full $200 worth of value from having this card, and I promise I did not overspend at all to do that, and so we're just going to add the full $200 value right there. Now for the Saks Fifth Avenue $100 credit, I have to be careful here because I don't want to overspend, and Saks Fifth Avenue is a very expensive place. For that reason, I have chosen to put this value right in half at $50 because it doesn't make sense to value this at the full $100 credit. But it is nice when I can go to my wife and say, hey, pick out anything from this website as long as it's like $40 and we can get it completely for free, and she's happy to do that. Now we have the $300 Equinox credit. If anybody knows where an Equinox is, let me know. Don't have one in my area, and I don't care about it at all. I know it's a really expensive gym, and other than that, I get $0 worth of value out of here. Now comes the $189 clear credit. I enrolled in this program and then I only used it once, and that was to set it up in the LA airport. I just haven't had the chance to use it any more than that. So for that, I'll put it at $5. I enrolled with Global Entry that also comes with TSA PreCheck, and I started using Global Entry. I've used it twice so far, both in LA, and I've also used TSA PreCheck in Phoenix twice, LA twice, Seattle once, and the Branson Airport in Missouri. And the value that I get out of this, well, I'll just say $5 for every use, and I used it 9 times, and so we get a value of $45. If I didn't have a credit card that was going to cover me for global entry and TSA pre-check, I would buy it anyway. Then we have $300 for SoulCycle. I don't want to waste your time with this one. I will never use this, and so $0. In year 1, we have the total for the statement credit, and once I reveal this, we are going to see $713.54 worth of value that I'm getting out of all of these statement credits. And so with a $695 annual fee card, this is great news. But will I get that same value in year 2? We'll stick around to find out. Now we have other benefits here with this card, and I'm going to go really quickly through these just because either they provide me a tiny bit of value or they provide me basically nothing. And I really didn't know a good way to put my value in here, and so for some of the ones that are valuable, I just put $1, and for all the other ones, I put $0. So with the year 1 other benefits, $10 there. Now for the spending categories, we have 5 times on flights. This is my best card by far for flights, and so I had to factor that in somehow. So I calculated the rewards points that I got for booking flights on this card minus the other rewards that I would have got with a different card. So the difference in rewards there and valuing the points at 1 cent per point, just for a standard estimate, you are going to get $36. The next one is 5 times points on hotels through amextravel.com, but there really is no benefit to using this portal versus the Chase portal when I could use another Chase card to get the same amount of rewards, and so I'm gonna have to put 0 here. All the other spending on this card was in categories for 1 point per dollar, and so I can't value that at anything, so $0. So for the year 1 spending categories, we are gonna have $36 here. Now onto the bonuses here. Amex offers is going to be the first bonus here, and I actually didn't use an Amex offer. I know they're extremely powerful for some people, but usually they're just way too much spend at a place they never want to go, and so we're putting $0. And then of course my favorite reason why I got this card in the first place was this sign-up bonus. It was 150,000 membership rewards points when spending $6,000 in the first 6 months. Very easy to hit that sign-up bonus, and I can value these points at around 2 cents per point. That is, I would say, a very conservative estimate on what I should expect from these points. And even though I didn't spend all of these points, I didn't redeem them for value, I could easily go through the transfer portal and transfer them out to partners and get incredible value. So we're going to say that this sign-up bonus is worth $3,000, bringing the year 1 bonuses total to, of course, $3,000. The total face value of all of these credits and benefits equal almost $2,000 every single year for holding this card. And when we move over to the year 1 total value, we are going to definitely get more than the $695 annual fee, $4,170.28. Way worth it for me to hold this card in year 1, but is it worth it for me to hold this card in year 2? Well, let's go back to the top, start with the lounges, work our way down to see if we're keeping this card for year 2. The year 2 lounge total is, I can't value this at the full $410, factoring in that I might not travel as much as I did in year 1. We're going to have to put this as a conservative estimate of $250. I don't think that you're going to get amazing value out of this card if you don't travel a ton, but I do, and so it works for me. Now for the statement credits, let me go down the list and see if I'm not going to use anything, or I might use something more than in year 1. Well, we have the Fine Resorts Hotel credit. I'm not going to use that in year 2. And then we have the Digital Entertainment credit. Honestly, the only reason why this would change is if the Disney bundle increases in price, and then we get even more value out of that. So I'm going to leave it right there. Then we move on to the Walmart Plus membership. We love this, and so we're just going to keep it at that. And then we have the Uber Cash, which I expect to receive the full $200 amount of value there. I can use $200 worth of United credits, and so I'm going to leave it there. Then we have the $50 of Saks Fifth Avenue. That's not crazy. Equinox 0, Clear Credit 5. It's probably going to be more than 5 in year 2, let's be honest. And then with the global entry and TSA pre-check, this is where I took value out of this one. I'm going to say, okay, instead of $45, maybe we'll put it at $25, but that's just if we decide to travel less, which we probably will not. And then SoulCycle is going to stay at $0. And so for these statement credits in year 2, just to have some fun with it, $693.54, slightly under $695. This is the reason why I say this card is not going to be worth it if you don't travel at all, just because like the statement credits, they really don't add up to a whole lot, and they don't actually add up to way more than the annual fee anyway. So I'd rather keep that money in the bank and then spend it however I want instead of having to be locked into all these statement credits. And then all the other benefits, I guess I'll just keep that at $10. I don't really know what else to do there, but I don't want to value all of this at 0. Now for the spending categories in year 2, well, you can see that I didn't put a lot of spend on this card in the bonus categories, and I'm not going to. Again, this card is just not good for spending money. Now for the bonuses in year 2, I'm not going to have a sign-up bonus, and I'm just going to assume that I'm not going to use any American Express offers, so I have no choice but to put $0 right here. So here's what I expect to get out of this card in year 2 to let us know if it's worth it or not, and that is adding up the lounges, statement credits, other benefits, bonuses, and the spending categories, and that is going to be $958 that I'm getting of value out of this card by spending $695 for the annual fee. So as you can see, it is going to be worth it for me to hold on to this card in year 2, but it's actually closer than what I thought, and that's why I'm very glad that I made up this spreadsheet and I calculated the exact total. And just because the card is worth it for me doesn't mean it's going to be worth it for you. That's why you have to run the calculations yourself. But if you do want to sign up for the card, I have a link in my description that you can click on and see all of the cards that I have referral links for. If you use that link to sign up for the American Express Platinum card or any other card for that matter, it's going to help out the channel in a big way. But of course, if there's a bigger sign-up bonus out there for any of the cards, then just use those ones. I want to thank you for sticking around to the end of this video and for subscribing as we're trying to hit our first 1,000 subscribers on this channel, and I will see you in the next video.